Monday, August 21st will be a special day. A solar eclipse will be happening in less than 3 weeks from now. And this part of the world is going to get to see part of it at least. Dr. Phil Langill joining us this morning to chat about what's happening on the 21st. Dr. Phil is an astrophysicist with the University of Calgary. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited about it. You must be excited about this.
Very, very excited. Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into exactly what's happening on the 21st, let's talk about what maybe a solar eclipse is.
Yeah.
And it's when, like, and it's a really rare thing because you have to get things lining up perfectly, right?
It is actually kind of rare from many points of view. You're right, you have to get things aligned.
Yeah.
And the way that the moon goes around the Earth, it's on a bit of a tilt with its orbital plane. So oftentimes, when the sun and the moon are lined up, the shadow of the moon goes above the Earth and doesn't hit the ground, so we don't get that effect, or below the Earth.
Sure.
So the moon has to be in the right part of its orbit so that it's in a nice straight line between the sun and the moon and the Earth. Then the moon's shadow can hit the Earth.
Okay.
And if you're in that shadow, okay, now the moon is zipping around in its orbit, so that shadow screams across the ground. And the spot is very small, you know, like maybe the size of smaller than the size of Calgary. So you have to be in the right place.
Yeah.
You have to be in exactly the right place to witness the sun being completely covered by the moon in the sky.
Yeah. Okay. So Calgary's not exactly in the right place, but we're going to see the moon kind of covering the sun,
a
right?
lot.
Yeah,
there's going to be a little bit of sun left. It's going to be mostly moon.
Really?
Yeah.
So it will almost be, we have a simulation rolling, right? It will almost be nighttime during the day, which is kind of neat.
It's almost, yes. I mean, you don't really get that darkness effect unless you're in the prime shadow spot of the moon on the Earth. Yeah.
Okay. Now, because part of the sun is still going to be visible.
Yes.
And even if you're where it's going to be totally eclipsed by the moon, it's not safe to look at with the naked eye, is it?
Well, when you're in totality,
yes,
you can look at the corona of the sun with your eye. That's okay, and it's quite spectacular. The sun has an atmosphere, a fuzzy atmosphere that's completely invisible unless you block out the very bright disk. Okay. So when the moon gets over top the sun, and totality happens, then you can look up and you'll see a little fuzzy glow around that's the sun's corona, or the crown. So Calgarians, unfortunately, aren't going to get the corona, but the sun is going to look like a little pair of horns in the sky.
Okay.
You still you can't look at that. That's the bright.
And you have a pair of glasses though.
Yes.
Yes. You have to order now. I just ordered some for my family, and they're still gonna they're gonna get here with a week or so in time. But I mean, if you have to get on this.
Yeah.
And so is there like a special lens in here, or?
It's just a really dark piece of plastic, is what it is.
Oh, that's what it is. Eh? Can I'm just gonna put them on. So and
demo it for us.
It's like the old school like 3D glasses, right?
Beauty.
Oh, I can't even see the TV lights in this. That's how bright the sun is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
you got to take care.
You got to take care of that. Okay. And is a telescope better for looking?
Yes and no.
If you have an option to use a telescope.
Right. So of course, if you're using a telescope, you have to have a good proper filter for it. Never look at the sun with your eyes or through a telescope without filters.
Sure.
So there are features of the sun that you can see in a telescope. You can see the photosphere, you can see some granules, that kind of stuff.
Really?
So the sun, when you look at the sun through a telescope, eclipse or none, there's structure on the surface of the sun, which is neat to look at through a telescope. This is, I'm talking about an ordinary visible telescope. When the moon comes in front of it, you'll be able to see those structures if there's sunspots, that kind of thing. You can see the moon creep along. The other amazing thing is you know, we don't get a sense of it in our everyday life, but the Earth is in motion.
Yeah.
The Earth is spinning, it's going around the sun. We don't get any of that.
We don't feel it.
We're just sitting here on a couch. But during an eclipse, you're watching before your eyes the motion of the solar system happening. And so you go from a perfectly round sun, and 45 minutes later, the moon is right there. You're watching the motion of the moon in its orbit passing in front of the sun. So you get a sense that you live in a place where things are moving and happening.
Yeah.
It happens really slow. You have to be one of those patient observers, but it does happen, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Phil, for coming in to talk about this.
We
don't want to, but I want to make sure that we get a chance to promote this as well, because, I mean, putting the eclipse aside, I know the staff of the U of C and the Rothney Astrophysical Observatory, you guys also have special stuff happening all the time, and there's something coming up called Milky Way Nights.
Milky Way Nights, yes.
So what's this?
Well, it's in the summertime. it doesn't get dark until very late.
Sure.
We used to have events at the observatory. People would come, and it would just be getting dark, and we would say, okay, that's it, the event's over. And they're going, what? So we started doing these Milky Way nights where we opened the doors very late, and then we let people stick around till like 2 o'clock in the morning. And the purpose is just to give people a chance to look through telescopes and talk about the sky and things like that.
Awesome.
And you never know when it's going to be clear, right? This eclipse,
Sure,
we have
course.
to cheer for good weather during the eclipse.
Yeah.
We also have to cheer for good weather during Milky Way nights. The clouds, of course, have to be gone so we can see the stars.
All right.
And we do it during a new moon, so it's very dark. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Perfect. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Dr. Phil, for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to see you. I love talking about this stuff. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.